This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by a man who needs no introduction. It's Blair the Flair Cobbs here in Anaheim. Blair, firstly, how are you?
I'm doing great. Living like a champ. Life is a dream, baby.
It's good to hear. How are things going? Obviously back in the gym now after your most recent victory. What are you up to?
Just hard work, dedication, and living life lavish, baby.
Let's reflect on your last performance, stoppage victory a couple months ago. How would you assess it now you've got a bit of time to reflect?
It was a great performance, and I look forward to putting on even more bigger performances. Hopefully we can get something going very, very soon.
Touch on that. Your division is stacked with so many great fighters. Obviously, we saw the altercation between yourself and Jaron Ennis ringside a couple of weeks ago. Talk to me about who have you got in your eye line? Who do you want? Who's in your eyesight? Who do you want to get into the ring with next?
Everyone's at my eyesight. Everyone can get it. So we're just working very, very hard. We're trying to make these big fights happen. Boxing is not boxing without big fights and big attractions. No more playing games. No more playing businessman. Let's see these fighters in action fighting big shows.
What do you make of some of those, those other guys in the division who don't hold the world title, such as a Jaron who you had your altercation with, or a Vergil Ortiz, for example, who's also with Golden Boy? So it's an easy fight to make.
Yeah, it should be, right? It should be easy fight to make, but yet he think that it's levels that I just don't understand, because nobody's fighting anybody. We have a whole bunch of fighters that's not fighting anybody. Nobody's being tested. My record ain't padded at all. So, I would love to see what happens. What happens to these young fighters when they get tested? Put them up against Blair Flair and let's see what happens.
Talking about the altercation with Jaron Ennis from ringside, Blair, what did you take away from it?
Fear. I can feel fear. I can see fear. No, they know me more than anything. I have a very big reputation in Philadelphia, especially in that time period that I was in there. So, let's see what happens. I would love to see that fight somehow come together. But if not, I'm more than willing to move on and continue on the great path that I have already.
What did you make of Bootsy's win against Thomas Delorme?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a good performance. I don't know if it's something to brag about. I mean, guy got hit in the back of the head and then couldn't recover, and that was pretty tough. I wish that there was something more as far as protection for the fighters getting hit in the back of the head. They should give them time to recover, especially if it's considered an illegal shot and then they get knocked down from it. I think that if they get up from it, they should be allowed time to actually recover from such a damaging illegal shot. We have fighters that have completely lost their mind and their brain just because of getting hit in the back of the head. I hope to God that doesn't happen to anyone else, but I can only wish for the best for Delorme and anyone else that might fall victim to such a thing.
Watching Boots in that fight, watching Boots throughout any other fights in his career so far, what weaknesses do you see that you can exploit, Blair?
Heart. We have a lot of fighters, a lot of young fighters, a lot of fighters that are moving up the rankings but not really being tested, that's not really feeling any real resistance. I've already felt resistance. My record is not padded. I'm going through hard fights. There's a lot of fights that many people thought I would lose, and that's what creates character. We have a lot of young fighters, and we don't know their character. They haven't been tested yet, but yet they want to call themselves already great. No, only the great one calls them great, and that's Blair the Flair.
Last time we spoke, Blair, another name you mentioned was Jesse Vargas. Did anything come of kind of talking to Jesse? He's kind of going down a different route now currently with the political side of the world, but did anything come of what you guys had your back and forth about?
I would have loved to make that fight happen, but I commend Jesse Vargas for going down the road that he's going down. It's going to be very tough. It's going to be a very treacherous road as far as getting into the political battlefield, and I'm with him 100%.
Just touch on a couple of the fights after your campmate this weekend. Gabe Rosado getting ready for his bout with Jaime Munguia tomorrow night. What are you expecting from that fight, Blair?
I'm expecting a good war, a good battle. I don't know who's going to be the tactician, who's going to be the bull, who's going to be the fighter that goes in there and tries to execute, who's going to be the one that's going to be trying to get out the way. It's going to be very interesting what happens. Who's going to get hurt in that fight? You know, it's an epic battle against the Puerto Rican and the Mexican, and I look forward to seeing the drama happen because, you know, Blair Flair love the drama.
And the final one, Blair, next weekend, the fight which I know you'll be keeping an eye on, Crawford-Porter, WBO World Title action at welterweight. What's your take? How do you expect it to play out?
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I would love to see Crawford face that adversity and see how he bounces back. If Porter might be able to overwhelm him with punches and power and overwhelm him with so much activity. But again, he might actually get he's doomed to at least get caught into a trap by Terrence Crawford. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play, but I think it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a very exciting fight, something that Terrence Crawford needs. He needs an exciting fight to continue blowing his star power up. Other than that, if he doesn't, then he's going to be old news.
Blair, final one, a message to your fans ahead of when you will next be in the ring, and obviously everybody waiting for that time to come. What would you like to say to them?
Oh, stay tuned. Blair Flair got something big in the mix, baby. And Blair Flair is ready. The cream of the crop, rising to the top. Blair Flair, the most exciting man in boxing, looks forward to putting on an exciting fight. And it's coming soon, baby. Woo!